especially I would say not just with people dealing with low thyroid and Hashimoto's, but most autoimmune conditions. Because when you get diagnosed with an autoimmune condition in Western medicine, the solution is to shut down the immune system, right? With different biologics. With Hashimoto's, they don't do that because the side effects of those drugs are worse than what we're dealing with. So they just put you on thyroid hormones and hope for the best and medicate all the other symptoms. And, if you get another autoimmune condition down the road, well, we'll handle that when we get there. And another, risk is thyroid cancer, and we'll handle that when we get there. I even had a patient say that her doctor told her, "Oh, you have thyroid cancer. Oh, that's the best one to have." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yes, thyroid cancer is the best one that you could have because, the risk of death is very low." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we really have a convoluted way of picturing and understanding health and really striving for optimal health versus just managing this disease processes that we're dealing with." But when we're dealing with autoimmunity, a lot of times we'll start uh, focusing on one trigger, even though we're dealing with like 10 triggers, right? And you said something about inflammation. Inflammation is a huge trigger. And I've had patients say, "Well, if I have a lot of inflammation, why don't I just take ibuprofen or take an Advil or take something like that?" I'm like, "No, that doesn't get rid of the inflammation. Like there's all kinds of issues that you're creating when you do that, and you're not handling the underlying cause of the inflammation." "Well, why don't I just take anti-inflammatories?" I'm like, even if it's a natural anti-inflammatory, which, curcumin and all the antioxidants, yes, that's good. But if you have an underlying infection, if you have underlying biotoxins or heavy metals or environmental toxins, that inflammation is really never going away. And yes, you might be suppressing it a little bit, but it's not really going to resolve the issue where you get, noticeable results. But when we're dealing with autoimmunity, it is more complex than just taking a pill. It's more complex than working on one trigger. You have to do comprehensive testing to understand all the triggers that you're dealing with and really start to work on those at the same time in order to actually get, make some progress.
Yeah, no, it's kind of